Welcome back to another episode of Transparency with Tiffany, the podcast. Today, my guest is my dear friend, Miss Dana East. Dana is a proud girl mom, a woman of faith, a very creative soul, and she is someone who knows how to show up with both style and strategy. In this episode, my Jersey girl is dropping gems around bringing joy to the lives of many, the power of the Black woman and our voices in the boardrooms, and the importance of pouring confidence into our children. A very special episode of Transparency with Tiffany, the podcast, starts now.
Hey, transparency with Tiffany. Hey, 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 hey. Transparency with Tiffany. Transparency with Tiffany. Transparency with Tiffany. Transparency with Tiffany. Hey, transparency with Tiffany. Hey, 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 hey.
Welcome to Transparency with Tiffany, the podcast. Thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all are the best live audience ever. This is episode 3 of season 3. I am super excited about this episode and the season. We are featuring women who serve the city of High Point. And so we get to meet somebody who I get to serve alongside, but actually somebody who has turned into one of my really good friends. So we're gonna talk about her, but before we get started, I always have to do a shout out. And one of the things that we do here on our brand for Transparency with Tiffany is we try to highlight businesses and women who are doing amazing things in the community, and sometimes people don't know about them, especially here in High Point. And so today I am highlighting my friend Brooke Carrington, and she is the founder of Good Trouble. This is a dress that I have on, and so I am highlighting her. She has everything: dresses, tees, jogging suits. She is an influencer. She does a lot of great things in the community, her and her husband. If you're ever downtown Greensboro and you see any amazing murals, her husband paints those. So they do a lot of really good stuff in the community. So y'all make sure you go and find her. She's always up there fabulous. So she'll do an inspo for you. You need some ideas on what to put on, Brooke is your girl. So check her out. Alrighty, so we are going to jump right in. I have my notes here. She is a proud mom, a woman of faith, a creative soul. That is definitely you. And someone who knows how to show up with bold style and strategy. She is my confidant. I can text her at midnight, at 2 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock, and 90% of the time, no matter when I text her, she is not only gonna answer me, but most of the time it's gonna say, call me real quick. Cause baby, she getting ready to get me straight about something that I am in my feelings about. And for that, I am grateful. This is Miss Dana East. So Dana is, position, tell us your position.
I am the Director of Event Strategy for Visit High Point.
Anybody go to the R&B Soul Picnic last week? This is the force behind that. Yes. And most of the main events that you see in the city of High Point, this is the force behind them. So we have Savor.
Yes, Savor High Point, Around the World in a Bite, will be happening in August. August 16th to be exact, at the Mendenhall Transportation Terminal / Theater. So we're excited.
The beer festival that has started coming to High Point every year, that is amazing. Yes, this is it. So anything, the major events that you see, this is it. This is the force behind us.
Thank you.
So,
I appreciate that. Yes.
How'd you get into, I'm gonna bear left for a second. How'd you get into like enjoying and doing event planning, but on a big level?
Oh, wow. So I'm originally from New Jersey. Hey friends, hey friends. So originally from New Jersey, so a lot of what I've experienced was from home, right? So you had all the big festivals, you had all the big entertainers. So a lot of times for me, though I came from a very structured home, my father being an accountant, my mother being in dentistry, it was kind of like, no, you're not partying for a living, ma'am, so figure it out. And so, but I kept being drawn into that. I think when I looked at the different events, I was just more excited about bringing joy to people. So I think that's where my driver was. Like, these people, like, I'm really excited to go to this MC Hammer concert, and I know I'm telling my age, or, you know, the Kid and Plays, or the plays on Broadway. So I've always wanted somehow either my name in lights or to work in lights. And I think that's where it derived from. It started young.
Yeah. You do an amazing job.
Thank you, Fran.
Amazing.
Thank you, Fran. Thank you.
So every woman's voice is shaped by her journey, and yours has moved through some powerful places. So you already told us that you are from Jersey, but you've also worked in finance, you wear many hats, entertainment, you've been Atlanta, and now you're here in little old small High Point, and we glad you here. Let me make sure the world knows we glad she here.
This is my rest.
When did you first realize that you had a unique voice or perspective that you wanted to share with the world?
I think from the beginning with my parents. So I think they were very supportive of my journey. I remember my first time being enrolled in what we call the Martin Luther King Players. And it used to just be like this community group. We would travel all over. We would go to theaters and we would have to do poetry. And I remember the first time, my first poem was Ain't I a Woman? And I don't know if I just said it so much that it became who I was. And I think that was the start of me saying, wow, I'm a woman. I can do all of these things. I don't have to just be put in this little box. And so I think my parents giving me that poem to recite over and over again in front of thousands of people, I do believe you are what you ingest, what you read, what you hear, what you speak. So I believe it started from there. Still didn't allow me to get right into entertainment because I had to take the journey, as Dr. Roberts said, through corporate America, finance, to be able to do the things that I'm doing now. I don't think I appreciated it before, but now that I'm in this seat, I'm like, okay, I'm glad I have that. I'm glad I have strategy. I'm glad I'm able to come into a small business or be on a board with you so that we can strategize and understand how to grow businesses. That was kind of that journey that I took.
And then we talk about this a lot. Like, I'm new in the board member space, and Dana gets on me all the time because I'm silent. Like, I'm there. It's like I'm trying. Like, oh, I'm finding my way. And you had to get me straight. And it's like, you're not finding your way. You didn't ask to be at that table. They asked you to be there. And so, is she really giving me the side eye on my shoe? And so, where did that confidence come from? Do you think have you always had your voice and just like always been that woman?
I wouldn't say I always had my voice. I think it was thrown on me. So I think that, again, having a powerhouse of a father, my father worked for Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, finance, for 42 years in the VP space. And so as a black man, young black man, I'm his only child. So I had to be taught early how to be a boardroom bully, right? Because he had nobody else to throw it on and say, like, this is how you act when you get in those corporate spaces. But what I also realized was he was teaching me how, in hindsight, he was also teaching me how to problem solve, just in general. So I was a teenage mom. So that obviously was a monkey wrench in the plan for my family. So I graduated with my first child at 18. She was 3 months old when I graduated high school. So I had to learn to use that bullying, that corporate sense, all of those, that strength, to really not only prove to myself, but also prove to my family that I don't fail. And you didn't teach me to fail, you taught me to win. So as you know, my daughter, that's probably some of the same things, it might be unfortunate, that I've drove into her. So I think that's where the confidence comes from, because I didn't have a choice. Like, I was unable to lay down. I was unable to be defeated. I had a mouth to feed very early, and I just had to figure it out. And I wasn't taking no for an answer.
So I love it. And when you talk about like with Nyla, I always come in early so that I can meet with Kendra and Alex and get my thoughts together and make sure I'm good. And this is season number 3. The previous recordings, I'm like all over the place and just all over the place. And so this morning, Kendra was asking me 1,000 times. She was like, "You just seem like something's different. Like you feel like you're more prepared. And I know we've done this a couple of times, but she was just like, she was like nervous because I was so calm. But Nyla has started helping me, y'all. And when I tell you, I love that her at her age, because a lot of times life will happen to us, and y'all know as women, life will happen. It'll start questioning us. We lose our self-confidence. We give our voice to people that don't ask for it. When I tell you, baby has been a fresh wind for me. Like she has me so organized, but even when we're together, just her confidence that I feel like she's gotten from you. I say this sometimes for my mama, like, because she is traditional and the way that she was raised, I feel like sometimes she killed some of our dreams.
I can see what you mean. Yeah,
but you don't do that with Nyla. Nyla is confident, and I feel like that's because of what you poured into her, because of how you are.
Yeah, I mean, and we also grew up together, right? Like, I mean, she's almost 30 years old, but like, she was my friend. I had to learn how to parent her. It's not like with my second daughter. I mean, I was a whole adult by then, so she got the lazy me, the I'm tired me, all the things me, right? And it was like, yeah, do that. Don't hurt yourself. But where with Naya, it was very much like, you think we should do this? I don't know, girl. We're gonna have to figure it out together. And so, you know, I remember a time, she was my 9/11 baby, right? So she was 4 years old when that happened. And I remember waking up, all our families there, we lived in Atlanta. And so that was the moment that we experienced tragedy together. And that was a moment that I'll never forget, because I think there was a level of strength that she had to give me, because I didn't know if my dad was walking. Did he take the PATH train that morning? Where's my cousin that works at JP Morgan? Did he go in? Like, it was a lot. And so I remember that moment, even for a 4-year-old, to be so strong. And I knew she had it in her then. And I just I felt like I needed to cultivate that. Yes. And just so that she can speak her truth as she got older, because we tend to lose it in those ages.
Yes. Yeah, you did an amazing job, baby. She is amazing. Yeah. So from Jersey, Atlanta to High Point, it's kind of like a full circle moment for you. How did that moment come about, and what did it feel like for you to return to your passion?
Well, I will say it felt and looked like struggle. I'm not gonna lie. I will be here 19 years in July. Knew no one until just 3 years ago. I've been in my little silo, in my little hub, going to work, doing my thing. It was misery at first, I'm not gonna lie. I got here, and I'm coming from Atlanta, y'all, so I'm like, oh, okay, friend. I remember when Charlotte didn't look like Charlotte, when High Point didn't look like High Point, and it was misery, and I tried to find different ways to constantly stay on the road. It wasn't until I got divorced that I said, oh, I might like this place. Like, this is a really cool place to raise children. This is I think the slower pace is what we all need, and I can just figure out how to, stick and move in between time. But what I will say is I've tried all the things. I've done the finance contracts here. I've worked in the furniture space. And then my mother got sick in 22. And I remember saying, Lord, I really just want to do me, but I can't get on this road anymore. Like, Essence Festival is slowing down. Like, I've done, All-Star Weekends. I've done all the things, but like, I really do like this new me, and I don't want to run as much. I want to do something different. And I recall mother getting sick. She's here. And I'm saying, but I want to do me, but I got to stay home, right? Like, I am now raising my parent, which sounds crazy, but there is a transitional period that happens, right? And I'm like, what am I going to do? Well, months later, I prayed. Like I said, I was steadily praying about it. And I get this, I think it was on LinkedIn. I get a post that says High Point is looking for an events development manager. I thought it was a scam, y'all. It was in Jersey fashion, where I was like, yeah, I'm being set up. I don't think this is real, because what do they need, right? So I'm calling my father, and I'm like, hey, I think this, I don't know. I think they scamming me. And he said, well, listen, the worst thing they're going to do is they're gonna ask you for your social security number and a payment. If they don't, then just keep going. So again, the New Jersey and me, they didn't ask for that. They now ask for an interview. But then the interview wasn't at their location. So I'm like, all right, y'all, so if I'm not back in an hour and a half, this is where I went. Come call the troops, run them up, and come get me. And so I think when I got in there, I realized it was God. I had met a tribe, and oftentimes God will use what you're battling or what your trauma is to bless you. And so when I walked in the room, I didn't leave corporate America because I didn't like it. I left it because I was being traumatized by my managers that didn't look like me. And when I walked in there, I am now looking at a table full of those managers. And I had to then make a decision to say, so me being me, I got in the car and I'm like, oh my God, the interview was great, not taking the job. My father was like, why? I was like, they're white women and I have an issue. And I don't think I've overcome that yet. And he said, well, you never know. And when I tell you, I listened to God, like Dr. Roberts, that pay was not paying. And I was very nervous, but I trusted God. And I don't think I've ever in my life had such the red carpet pulled out for me. He made me feel safe. I was seen, I was heard. It was all these things where I still, even in all of that, I was still waiting on the sky to open up, the ball to drop, and they betrayed me. I was waiting on all the things. And I don't think I could have worked for a better agency. I've not lost anything. Money's still funny, but we still surviving. We still good. If my boss sees this, we'll talk. But no, I think that's what the full circle was. I think 19 years ago, I was miserable and I didn't know what I needed to do. But when I looked at my service in Atlanta and working for Hosea Williams and working for Nelson Mandela's Foundation, I knew that it was no longer about partying for me. Like, I needed to figure out what I could do to still bring joy, but still be a part of something bigger than myself. And I just didn't know it was happening. But I know 19 years ago, I was like, oh, we up out of here. As soon as these kids leave, I'm leaving. And guess what? Now they're leaving and I'm here.
Yay. Just a little. And it's people like you and Amber and Raven, y'all have made me love High Point. Because again, I've been here for all these years. I wasn't engaged in anything. And and I wanted to. I have thought about doing leadership High Point for years. Okay. But I just didn't know the people. And that was my prayer, was for God to send me the right people that I could learn from. And I'm way older than, not you, but yeah, I was gonna say like Amber and Ray, you know, yes. And so, but I've learned so much. And I can remember last year when I thought, this was before my bad season, because honey, I thought I was in a bad season, baby, I ain't know. And when we were at the beer festival and I was telling you I'm not good, and he was like, yeah, let's just have lunch. And you know, Ray was like, you want to do something different? You know, say less. It's like y'all really embraced that. Sure. And
we need it.
Yeah, yeah.
Women, for sure.
You've helped shape festivals, art events, moments of celebration in the city. How do you see your role in helping women, especially us, Black women, feel seen and heard in public spaces?
Well, let's be clear, it's not a lot of me running around here, right? And when I say that, there's not a lot of Black women, event producers, festival producers, we're just not in that space. And I can remember who opened doors for me. Even though some were men, it was very much like, you're capable, I'm gonna retire, here you go. And so I still have that mindset. And so I don't know if it's on purpose, I don't think it is, but I definitely hire us. I do not play about hiring my people. Even my right hand is a young African-American woman who, golly, she's going to surpass me. I don't think I've ever sat with anyone and interviewed them and felt like I saw myself in a mirror. And I think my daughters are cool, but they're just not like me all the time. But this one, I was like, oh gosh, I'm on to something. And I don't know, I will always make space for us because there's really nobody out here doing it. Yes. And so I remember doors being shut on me. And so I'm like, well, I'm just gonna open the floodgates for everybody, whether that's even down to my load-in crew, even down to my ticketing agents. You're not gonna walk in my festivals and not see you. So.
And I love that for me because, again, with me being new to High Point, I don't know any people. Y'all, I will pick that phone up and call Dana, baby, this is what I'm doing and this is what I need, and I want one of us. And so, who you got? And you always have some, and off your knocking, baby, you know somebody. Oh yeah, we can do this. Oh, let me call this person. It's like, so I love that for us because we don't have a lot of us in these spaces.
Be the directory.
I know, that's right. Mm-hmm. In case y'all didn't hear her, she said, we gonna be the directory, okay? Yes. None of us get where we're going by ourselves, even though, sometimes we might get enough and say, I don't need nobody. We do.
Every day.
So tell us, who are the women that have served and supported you on your journey?
Oh, well, I'm gonna start with my mommy, because she is like so dope. I watched my mother do this. Like, I watched my mother clean teeth during the day, bake cakes, do weddings on the weekend. Like, it's been a whole vibe in my house with the event planning space. And then I'm gonna say my grandmother and great aunts. When I look at that journey, being West African, they've always been about the community. And I can just recall in Baltimore, there were centers named after them. And so they were very much in the event space, but they were in the bring joy space. I remember just watching them, just watching them do their thing was amazing to me. And then as I continued my journey, I would say obviously my girlfriends. But even though this is not a woman, I do want to contribute some of my philanthropic passion to Hosea Williams. And Hosea Williams marched with Martin Luther King, and he owned the Hosea Williams Foundation in Atlanta. And I remember my first time meeting and working for him. I was amazed that this man could fill up the Georgia Dome with homeless people and services. I had never seen anything like that. And so corporately, my brain went to, how the heck did he get all these people in here? How did you manage all of these barbers, hairstylists, vendors, foods? Where are all these blankets coming from? And so for me, I think that was my push. And he would always make sure that I met the right woman to journey me. But yeah, my sisters, my girlfriends, oh yeah, we done been through all the shenanigans. They done been through all my woes. I'm gonna leave this job, I'm gonna move to this state, I'm gonna move to this country now because I'm over it. Watch the kids for me while I travel, all the things. And I think that they've reaped, I've reaped. Yeah, and like you said, getting those phone calls at 2 a.m, being able to reach out to people, those are the people I feel like have always supported me. I've had a lot of naysayers. Again, I'm a teen mom, right? So I'm not supposed to own homes or cars or have educated Black children. I'm not supposed to do any of those things. So I think the people who have supported my journey, family, friends, whether we chose them or made them along the way, I've had a very unique journey, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Good. One last question, and then we'll take one couple questions from the audience. We getting ready to be empty nesters. Our babies are graduating. I know. Girl, we just been crying, but I think we did good. I don't think we
good. I don't know. I was like a down low crier for real. Like I was trying to give y'all a little something, but at night in the bathroom, I'm like, oh God, I'm tired. She's sleeping. What's happening? Yes. I don't know if Anaya cried any for her little sister. Mm-hmm. She's probably gonna be hard and say no, but we were definitely feeling it.
Girl, what have you learned to lead yourself with grace, purpose, and love?
What I've learned is Anaya and Mila are my mirrors. They are my fears. They are my challenges. Some days my trauma, right? And so as I get them through those mirror moments, I have to give myself grace because oftentimes, especially the oldest daughter, they are still, I read something that said the oldest child, they're responsible for the trauma that was not corrected from the generation before. And so the reason why I have to give myself grace is because I was young. I didn't know nothing. Yeah. We were winging it. But what I'm leading with is literally my heart at this point. Like, that's all I can do, how I'm feeling, what I'm doing, obviously through prayer. But I feel like me making sure that my heart is connected to God, I think I'm gonna be good. I think we're gonna get through it.
That's good.
For sure.
Yeah. Yes. We'll take a couple of questions.
Hi, Dana.
Hello.
So, what does self-care look like for you when the world starts to get loud, but your spirit needs to just be quiet?
Well, I just did that because the world has been very loud the last few weeks. Journaling for me. I am a very heavy journaler. And some may not like this part of it, but depending on how deep I feel, I take it to water. I will write all of the things out, and I will just go to a body of water, whether it's Oak Hollow Festival Park. I sit there and I just throw it in there. And I ask God to take it wherever it needs to go, let it land wherever it needs to land. And that is exactly what I did with this job. I was very specific, and it came months later, but it traveled somewhere. And so I wanted to go upstream, not down.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's real good.
Sure.
Hi, I'm Shope.
Hello.
And my question to you is, has there been a moment where you almost gave up on yourself? And how did you bring yourself back?
That one was emotional, and I should have known you got the emotional question because you and I were bonding in the back. Oh, yeah, man. Several times, but one in particular, I remember, again, I have a young child. I think she was either 2 or 3 when we moved to Atlanta. And I got sent there. Finance is what took me to Atlanta. And it was during the the Bush and, it wasn't that Reagan one, it was the Gore and Bush election. And I remember being in a strange land, and the acquisition that I was transferred there for didn't do well. And so I got sent my walking papers. I'm in a strange land. I'm 20 years old. I don't even know if I was 21 yet. And I remember, no, I was 21 because I actually went to Houston's, which I love their spinach dip and their, I'm plugging them, and recently. And so I left. I was nervous about what I was going to say to my daughter. She wouldn't know anything, but what do I say? But then I started thinking, like, maybe I should just pack this up. I'm going to go back home to my dad. I'm going to surrender. I'm going to just do what he wants me to do. I didn't make it. It didn't happen. And I literally sat in Houston's, cried a little bit, sat at the bar. And what I didn't know is the gentleman who I thought was flirting with me was the president of Sony Urban Music. And we talked, and the rest was history.
Get out.
Mm-hmm. So that was my moment. Because I was on my way back to Jersey. Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how those moments where God will send you a God wink and you don't even know, like you said, you thought he flirting.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling myself. I ain't gonna lie. I'm cute. I'm 21, right? I'm like, hey, what we doing? And then I realized, we not doing that. Her, okay. Oh, money. That's what I want most. So, yeah. So we in the A. We didn't know. I didn't know. Just thought it was what. Well.
Love it. Thank you for sharing with us today.
Yes. I'm giving it up for you. I'm gonna give you your flowers because, ma'am, you are awesome. You are an awesome being. You're awesome for even allowing us to be transparent with you. We need partners in life, and sometimes it's better when we're together. Yes. So we appreciate you for allowing this a platform for us to speak, for us to just be authentically ourselves. So we love you for that. I appreciate you.
Thank you. We've come to the end of episode 3 of season 3. And so again, we are grateful. Thank you to my audience. Give yourselves another round of applause. For those of you who are watching, we ask that you will go and follow, find us, like, share all of the good things for us. We are on all social media sites at Transparency with Tiffany, the podcast.